Hi, everyone. My name's Kathie Barnes. I'm the Associate Dean for Programs and Innovation, and I am here to talk about study abroad in opportunities, international opportunities, and interdisciplinary opportunities. Before I do that, I just want to welcome you all to U of A. If you are new to U of A, and welcome you back if you are a returning Wildcat. And welcome you to the law school. It is, as you have experienced already, it's a new type of year, but we're all learning together, and really excited to have you become a part of our community. So let me just get started. I'm going to talk, as I mentioned, about study abroad opportunities first. So let me share my screen and go back to where I'm supposed to be. There we go. And so study abroad. So what I wanted to talk about first was just to tell you a little bit about our philosophy here at U of A, because we think it's incredibly important to have a global university and to be a part of a global research university. And so U of A has over 150 different places around the world where students can take courses, global locations. And the law school, it has started this trend in some sense. We have several what we call microcampus locations in China, in Peru, in Cambodia, and coming in Vietnam, all of which allow students who are local to China or those places to learn to be a U of A student, there, to come here and also enjoy sort of coming to the U of A in Tucson and learning about that experience too. How does that impact the law school? Well, as I hope you know, our law school is global in focus as well. We have, on average, about 20% of our students, of our graduate students, I should say, are international. And what that means is that people come with very different perspectives. And they come into our classrooms with very different perspectives. And the law is one thing that can be very local. And what your concept of the law is and sort of the culture around it is very different depending on where you're from. And so having these different people, I think, really makes a huge difference in the diversity of opinion and of thought in the classroom, and in sort of making people even question or think about or rethink some of the basic premises we have in our legal system, which is very important for lawyers to do. So I'm super excited about how global and how sort of innovative the University of Arizona is. And I think this is one of those ways that we do that. And one of the ways in particular, as this slide suggests, that we broaden student perspectives. We do that also by bringing in students with all sorts of backgrounds from within the US, and bringing in students who are getting another degree from the University of Arizona, who are doing interdisciplinary work, and so they have a different focus. So you put on a different hat and you have a different way of thinking than a lawyer. And all of that is useful when you are a lawyer, to be able to think in different ways, not just like a lawyer, but also like a business person, or like an environmental scientist, or like a public health professional. All of those useful skills, and we have people in our classes who bring those skills and share their knowledge with us, which is I think fabulous. And then we also have study abroad for those of you who want to do that and who have sort of the interest in going more deeply into a different legal system, and dual and concurrent degrees for those of you who have interest in going more deeply into a different particular subject. So let me first talk a little bit about study abroad. As I think most of you know, study abroad allows you to spend a term or a year at another institution and learn about, in this case, learn about the law in a different legal system. Generally, your financial aid and scholarship can travel with you, but that depends on what type of study abroad you do. And there's a huge number of resources at University of Arizona, and then the law school runs a couple of its own study abroad programs as well. So the University of Arizona resources are at this particular URL and demonstrate all sorts of opportunities for you if you choose to spend time away. In terms of the formalized exchanges that the law school has, what those mean is that we have sort of already agreed upon terms with another university. The credit transfer is easy, and you typically pay tuition to U of A and then head over. For individual study abroad, we also often have students who want to go to a particular school, and we are very happy to facilitate that as much as possible. And so we work with that university. Maybe they have a particular specialty that you're interested in, and we work with them to create your program and ensure it. And that requires a little bit more work from you and a little bit more work from us, but can be very rewarding, particularly on the basis of what you're most interested in doing. So let me just mention two of our formalized exchange programs that have been more active in the past years. And one of them is Université Lyon, Jean Moulin. Jean Moulin. And that one is obviously in France. It's in Lyon, France. It is an English-based program, so you don't need to know French. It does help you get around and help you make friends and be a part of the community. And it's certainly a way to get better at your French. But it's based on international and comparative law. So if you can do a 1 semester exchange and then you just pay your tuition here. You can do a 1 semester exchange and then take an extra semester there for additional cost, and get an LLM from the university as well. And so we've had people do that and really, really enjoy it. And then the other sort of large formalized exchange we have is with the North American Consortium on Legal Education. So these are a group of universities, as you can see. We didn't put ourselves in there, but we're in there too. In Canada, Mexico, and the US. And these allow anyone to move between these different institutions. So you can do a formalized exchange in any of these institutions between Mexico and parts of Canada. The courses, and obviously the US, the courses can be offered in English, Spanish, and French. And again, you pay the UA tuition or your UA scholarship. And then you go to whichever university you want to out of this, or you apply to go, I should say, to whichever one of these universities you prefer. So those are the two sort of really formalized ones. And as I mentioned before, there are all sorts of additional opportunities for you to go individually to another place, but also opportunities at our microcampus locations and our study abroad locations, our sort of UA study abroad locations. So the microcampus locations deliver UA degrees, and so they do in fact deliver some law classes as well. And of course, you can also take courses or online courses while you go. And we have locations around the globe. And I really encourage you to take a look at what we offer and to think about what that might look like if you're interested. And obviously, once we are able to travel, as the case may be, hopefully after your first year in law school. The other thing I wanted to talk about was interdisciplinary opportunities, just very quickly. So these are opportunities so this is a way that one of the real values at U of A is that U of A is a preeminent research university. We're ranked in the top 100 in the world. We're a member of the Association for American Universities. That is, the preeminent set of Research One universities, which we are. And we have a real strength as well in interdisciplinary studies in general. So we have a whole set of graduate interdisciplinary programs. They include all sorts of different types of sort of water resources and statistics and American Indian studies and sort of anything that might be interdisciplinary there. It's often in this sort of mold where you take classes from a variety of different departments. We also have the Institute for the Environment, which is sort of an umbrella organization for a lot of our environmental colleagues. The law school has, environmental colleagues are a part of it, but also sort of both environmental science and social science, all there together. And really more than anything, I would say, is that the UA is really committed to interdisciplinary partnerships. We think it's really important to be able to bring to bear different sort of viewpoints and ways of thinking about a problem, bring them together to do a better job of answering the problem, right? And so we encourage you to take advantage of that, even if it's just taking one class outside of the law school, you're very welcome to do so. And I think the GRE admission process is sort of one example that we've had of how we facilitate sort of cross-pollination of ideas. We don't make people take both the LSAT and the GRE to get into two different programs at U of A. Okay, so we have 12 official dual degree programs, and then we also have sort of concurrent degrees, which are more informal, which aren't sort of official programs, but where you can be admitted into both programs at the same time and cross-count some credits, which helps save time and money from taking them both. And you see here, Francisco Aguilera gave a quote that sort of suggested why we might care about a dual degree, that it makes both degrees more valuable, and that there's a real synergy between the law and other degrees that makes you think more broadly and sort of gives you a deeper understanding of both fields. Okay, so let me tell you what the official dual degree programs are. They're in economics, in business, in MBA, in master's in public administration, public health, finance, agricultural and resource economics, and the LLM, any of the different tracks there, and a master's in American Indian Studies, and a master's in Latin American Studies and Gender and Women's Studies. So all of those are sort of our 12 official dual degree programs. The way in which we sort of operationalize them is that we accept a semester's worth of credits, 15 credits from your other program towards your law degree. So it saves you, a term of time in school from our side. And generally it saves you about the same amount from the other side, maybe a little bit less, because often those programs are 2 years instead of 3. And so they want to make sure that you take, sort of a minimum number of classes from them. The 2 rules that always apply, and each of these is a little bit different, but the 2 rules that always apply are that the application processes for the 2 different degrees are separate. Okay, so you've already applied here, but if you haven't yet applied to a dual degree, you can certainly do that. But you have to do that separately than your application to the law school. And the other thing, the other rule that really does apply is in this sort of big, somewhat bureaucratic university, it's really important to stay in touch with me as the dual degree advisor, and to stay in touch with Mike Brooks as your direct advisor, to talk to you about sort of class schedules and sometimes the additional costs, the way financial aid works with dual and concurrent degrees. It's just a little bit more complicated, and it changes over time. And so it's always good to stay in touch and to just let us know what you're thinking and what you're interested in. So I certainly hope you do that. And again, these are the official degrees, but we have also had people come in with all sorts of other degrees, with chemical engineering, with rhetoric, with sort of interest and other environmental science issues or master's programs. And so we're very happy to work with you on any of them. Okay. And please just come talk to us about it if you're interested. That's a great idea. And in terms of the timeline for talking to us, it is usually best to at least apply for the second degree while you're in your first year of law school. You can wait until your second year of law school, but that can be more difficult. So my suggestion is to think about it in the fall. Take a month and sort of get comfortable in and get used to law school, and then start thinking about it. And come talk to me if you are, if you're interested in it. And so that was everything I needed to say, and I hope I didn't take too much of your time. And I'm really looking forward to seeing you on Zoom at some point, in person as things allow. And welcome again to U of A.